My name is Anatoly Semyonovich, and to those close to me, I'm just Uncle Tolya, 80 years behind me, and there's something I need to tell you, something that happened 6 months ago and turned everything I lived for upside down. My best friend Vitya passed away. For 57 years, we walked side by side, shoulder to shoulder. And when he was gone, I suddenly realized something terrible. I walk, I breathe, I eat, but inside, there's nothing. Forgive me for being blunt, but there's no other way to put it. It's like something essential was pulled out of me. Fate brought us together in '67. Chelyabinsk, a foundry shop. Both 23, both green, both pretending hard that those enormous furnaces didn't scare us one bit. On the very first day, the foreman put us on the same shift. 8 hours of silence, just glancing at each other sideways. And when the shift ended, Vityan says, "Hey, what do you think? 100 grams to get acquainted?" I said, "Let's do it." That's where it started. 57 years of friendship from those 100 grams. There was no beautiful story like in the movies. We never pulled each other out of burning buildings. We were just two ordinary working guys who stuck together through everything. Weddings, divorces, the birth of children, the wild '90s, years without a paycheck. We went through such a grinder of life that not everyone could take it. Our wives, my Nina and his Tamara, became close friends too. We had an unspoken rule. Every Saturday, together without fail, either they came to us or we went to them. We made dumplings, played dominoes and cards, sang to the guitar. No pretense, no showing off. You just showed up and felt good. No need to put on any act. You belonged there. That, I'll tell you, is worth a great deal. In '92, Vitya's son got into trouble, fell in with the wrong crowd, ended up behind bars. Vitko turned dark with grief, tore himself apart over it. I told him, "Vitya, these things happen. We'll get through it." And we did. His son got out, got his head straight, and now has grandchildren of his own. You know what I want to say? When you're young, you don't really understand the value of true friendship. You think friends are just for having a good time, but that's not it at all. Real friendship reveals itself when the good times are over. In 2008, my Nina died. Cancer. I was 64. The kids had all moved away, and I was left alone in an empty apartment. It felt like someone had switched off the lights. Only Vitya pulled me through. He didn't say empty things like, "Time heals all wounds." He just showed up, dragged me to the garage to work on an engine, invited me fishing, sat beside me in silence when I wanted to howl. He wouldn't let me rot away in loneliness. 5 years later, his Tamara was gone. A heart attack. I found him in the kitchen, sitting there, staring at the wall. I sat down next to him. We sat like that for about 4 hours, without saying a single word. There was nothing to say. I was just there, the same way he had once been there for me. Left on our own, we developed a ritual. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we met at the canteen by the park. Always ordered the same thing: borscht, a cutlet with mashed potatoes, and compote. We sat at our table by the window and talked about politics, aches and pains, the weather, small things. But it was those small things that made you want to get out of bed in the morning. The older we got, the more we looked back. How we traveled wild to Lake Baikal, how we nearly drowned on a rafting trip, how young and foolish we once were. Like rewatching an old favorite film, you know everything already, but it still feels good. Last year, Vitya started to fade. Dementia. First, he forgot his keys. Then he started mixing up the days. The hardest thing was seeing the fear in his eyes. He was terrified of losing himself. The last 6 months were a true hell. He was fading before my eyes. Sometimes he looked at me like a stranger. And who are you? But I still came every Tuesday and Thursday. Whether he recognized me or not didn't matter. What mattered was that I was there. 6 months ago, a stroke. 2 days in intensive care, and that was it. I held his hand as he was leaving. I told him, "Go, Vitya. Everything is fine. I'll manage." Now, I'm 80. I've buried many people. Parents, my wife, colleagues. But losing Vitya hit differently. He was the last person on this earth who remembered me young. The last one who knew all my stories. The last one with whom I could laugh about something that happened 40 years ago. Something no one else cares about anymore. When Vitko died, a huge part of my own memory died with him. There are no more witnesses to my youth. I'm still here. I wake up on Tuesdays and my hand reaches for the phone by itself, and then I remember. And the sadness hits so hard, words can't describe it. I sit and stare out the window. The kids say, "Dad, join a veterans club. Get some social interaction." But I don't need social interaction. I need my friend. The one who understood you from a single glance. No one can replace that. Here's what I want to say to you young people. Don't take people for granted. Everyone is rushing somewhere. Careers, mortgages, success, no time left for friends. Everyone thinks, "I'll get around to it. We'll meet up a little later." People live as if there's no end in sight. Wake up. We are not eternal. One day you'll call, and no one will pick up. Vitya and I had 57 years. You'd think that's a whole lifetime. And yet I think to myself now, Lord, how little that was. I would give everything for just one more Tuesday in that canteen. If you have a real friend, not a follower, but a living person, call them today, right now. Drop whatever you're doing. Forget the tiredness. Be there. Vitko taught me the most important thing. Friendship isn't words. Friendship is presence. Take care of your people. And if my story made you reach for your phone, then it wasn't told in vain. Thank you for listening to an old man.